You know, oftentimes when you're dealing with behaviors, there are accusations of social engineering, and we look at that as if that's wrong, but that's really what we're doing in a classroom. We're trying to engineer social acceptability from both an academic and behavioral standpoint. And so therefore, divesting academics from behaviors is a really difficult thing to do and achieve that goal. And so what it looks like is you actually have a lesson plan, and every teacher will complete a lesson plan for a subject matter. What it says to the teacher is you need to be cognizant that this lesson is going to have an impact on the student from a social, therefore behavioral standpoint, whether it's right now or whether it's in the future. In other words, what's the purpose of this lesson? Remember, school is all about creating citizens, contributing citizens. That's why we have school. Contributing citizens to our workforce, our communities, and the expectations of those communities need to be taken into account as teachers teach. What MTSS says is, let's take the social aspect, don't divest it from the lesson, but include it. And so, as a teacher is teaching a lesson, rather than using a random example, be more purposeful. You know, use an example of how it impacts the student or the community socially. That's where LEAP steps in. The lessons themselves have a lot of in vivo talking points, probing questions, lots of different mechanisms. Even if you're not using the whole lesson, you can use what we call the pedagogical aid page, which gives you things like right ways and no ways, talking points, probing questions, all these different mechanisms of how you can engage kids from a social standpoint within an academic lesson. And people say, well, how in the world do you do that with math? Well, what's the purpose of math? It's got to be purposeful beyond just taking up time. There's got to be a social application. What is that social application? In other words, just going through and teaching kids rote memorization is not educating them. Educating them is teaching the application. Application occurs in a socialized or community environment. That's what MTSS is supposed to bring to the teacher.